And here we go. All right, everybody, Stocks by the Numbers, welcome back. And of course, we are pumped because one of our best performing stocks on this channel, basically from day one, Rolls Royce Holdings, symbol RYCEY, here on our OTC American markets. Of course, RR on the LSE, the London Stock Exchange. This company came out, reported earnings overseas, came out like 5 a.m. Was posting it in the Discord. I was going to stay up actually and pull an all-nighter because I just wanted to start pumping out videos at like 8, 9 a.m. right at the open. But of course, I ended up closing my eyes and the rest is history. But Rolls Royce, 917 on the close, up over a full point, 14.33%, hitting new 52-week highs of 947. I believe I was looking for a key level of 905, and you can see that that was actually the low of the day. And of course, we were at almost 9.5 and we closed at 917. So technically, we're up above this level, and that's why I was saying next should be like the high nines, and of course 10 and change right here. Maybe what's this, 1056? You see like the top here where it flattened out and touched that level a little bit, looking like about 10.5. But overall, the numbers have just been very strong for Rolls Royce. We know this. You guys, if you're involved in this one, you know, for the last year or two, I'm sure you're staying updated with the news. Excuse me, too much coffee. But you know, I try to do updates when we can, every couple of months, because we knew this was a long-term hold, right? That's what I mean. This is not, I mean, of course you could trade something like this, but again, looking at the long-term growth, this is what I mean. A couple of years ago, $1.20 when I first spoke about it. Now, on its way to $10. That is what we call compound growth. And remember, what did I say also when I talk about these smaller, cheaper stocks? If you can find the right companies, get in at the right cost basis, consistently lower your average even if the stock goes down, as it starts to grow, you are going to be seeing the compounded growth. So just imagine, hypothetically, if you were aware of my channel back in the day and you bought shares at $1.20 and took a sizable position. Look how much the stock is up today. Almost $1.20. So you literally doubled up on your investment again today because you had the foresight to see a good thing coming. You understand? Now you understand the method to my madness. So, of course, anyone who's gotten involved into Rolls Royce, even back here, 3, 4, 5, 6, obviously, you're up huge. This is phenomenal. Let's get into the actual report. So the company on the EPS side, they were estimating 12 cents. The company posted almost 15 cents. And on the revenue side, basically meeting in line, 10.97 billion, essentially matching that estimate. But we are just seeing time and time again positive updates coming out of Rolls Royce, signing new deals, as we mentioned, expanding into different demographics. They're signing deals with companies all over the world. And also, we mentioned about the Trump wanting them to increase spending on defense, right? And we were saying that down the road now, 6 months from now, 12 months from now, this could potentially become even better for Rolls-Royce down the road. So definitely something to keep in mind as well. Did it run up a lot? Absolutely. You know, can it slowly pull back, like, you know, into the low 8s or even the high 7s? Maybe try to like fill that gap a little bit. If markets sell off across the board, continue to remain rough, can we pull back and then bounce? Yes, of course. You and I both know that. But overall, in my opinion, I actually still see growth here. Rolls-Royce shares surged to an all-time high on Thursday after the company resumed shareholder payouts. We spoke about that, reinstating the dividend, raised midterm guidance, and launched a £1 billion, roughly $1.25 billion buyback. Shares were up roughly 17%. UK engineering defense company resumed dividend payments after a 5-year break as previously guided, declaring a payout of 6 pence for 2024. It's first since January 2020 when we had the lockdowns. And right, that forced them to preserve cash. And I speculated that as well. You can go back, you can listen to the videos I did back in 2023, going into 2024. I speculated and predicted that the cash flow was improving. The company was going to flip back from the red to the black. They were going to have healthier balance sheets, and the dividend was probably going to come back. All of this was predicted by yours truly over the last 2 years, and now it's coming to fruition day after day. since taking charge 2 years ago, when we saw it, has worked to tighten focus, prioritize core activities, and drive efficiencies. After initially calling the company, quote, a burning platform, he has overseen a more than 7-fold increase in the share price. Benefited from a rebound in commercial flights, of course. Quote, strong 2024 results build on our progress last year as we transform Rolls-Royce into a high-performing, competitive, resilient, and growing business. Quote, all core divisions delivered significantly improved performance despite a supply chain environment that remains challenging. Rolls-Royce produces engines, military. Right, we spoke about the submarine deal recently. Civil aerospace key driver. Engine deliveries increased 16%. Revenue from its engine servicing business increased 28%. Due to continued growth in air travel, and as tight aircraft capacity means engines are flying for longer, generating stronger servicing demand. Renegotiated long-term service contracts also helped. The company also manufactures small modular reactors. We spoke about this as well. After being named preferred supplier to build reactors by the Czech Republic, it is on a Swedish shortlist to potentially build a fleet of nuclear plants and has moved into the third and final step of a UK assessment process. Quote, we are well placed to become a market leader in SMRs, where we see a significant value creation opportunity, meaning the revenue may chunk up and continue to rise over the next 1 to 5 years. Rolls-Royce expects to deliver 2025 underlying operating profit, a key metric for the group that strips out exceptional items of between 2.7 billion and 2.9 billion pounds. That would see the company beat its previous midterm target 2 years earlier than planned. In new midterm targets, the company now expects 3.6 billion pounds to 3.9 billion pounds of underlying operating profit with an operating margin of 15 to 17% by 2028. Free cash flow is seen at 4.2 to 4.5 billion pounds and return on capital at 18 to 21%. Pretty healthy margins, if you ask me. Previous midterm targets that ran to 2027 had targeted underlying operating profit of 2.5 to 2.8 billion pounds, an operating margin of 13 to 15%, free cash flow of 2.8 to 3.1 billion pounds, and a return on capital of 16 to 18%. So as you see, we have significantly upped these targets now. So pretty much any way you want to look at it, in my eyes, Rolls-Royce deserves this pop. And that's why now we're in the 9s. We almost hit 9.5. We were looking at the next key level, right? We got the psychological level of 10. We had a key level of, what did we say, like 10.55 or something like that. So that's why I think, in my opinion, we may just continue to keep climbing. Richard Hunter said the company's unexpected announcement of a share buyback has lit a fire under the shares. They're announcing a buyback because they feel it's undervalued. They also know it's going to help benefit and take care of shareholders who have been on this roller coaster ride maybe for the last 5-10 years, right? And of course, with the cash flow now coming in nice, reinstating the dividend, all these things, if you can tell, are to increase shareholder value and pay back shareholders. So in my opinion, yes, this is one to own. Now, again, that's just my opinion. Quote, the burning platform has long been extinguished, propelling Rolls-Royce to a group which is now firing on all cylinders. Company said underlying operating profit in 2024 was 2.46 billion pounds, up from 1.59 billion pounds, and ahead of the company's guided range of between 2.1 and 2.3 billion pounds. They posted almost 2.5 billion. Very, very nice. Revenue on an underlying basis rose to 17.85 billion pounds from 15.4 billion pounds. Just phenomenal growth across the board. And this is why I always said, you look for, it's the Buffett method, right? We look for brand name beaten up stocks that are now trading at fair value, are trading at discounted values, and we begin to buy shares, accumulate, build a position, and then just wait for that growth. Wait for that rebound story. Rolls-Royce has sunny skies with a fuzzy horizon. Rolls-Royce CEO speaking on a call. Share zoom up. 2024 profit beat. Dividend revival. Rolls Royce report gives confidence in growth trajectory. Future looks very bright after outstanding results. What did I tell you? What did I tell you? I was telling you guys all the way back here. I said they're going to keep it under the radar. The deals are going to keep getting signed. The revenue's going to start flowing in. They're going to rally it all the way back up. We were looking at previous levels of like 610, 709, whatever. I don't remember all the previous levels. But we consistently climbed up. And now that's what I mean. Now look at the headlines on this stock. Is this a buy? This company with outstanding results. If you put, right, you see those articles. Oh, if you put 1,000 into Rolls Royce a year ago, this is what it's worth today. Right? Now all of a sudden it's on everyone's radar. Everyone loves it. Everyone thinks now it's a buy. And they're going to start piling in. Oh, the company's doing a share buyback. The numbers are healthy. They're reinstating dividends. Right? So now people are piling in. Again, originally brought to you on this channel, $1.20. We're reading high dividend return, RYCEY outlook. Sees potential for civil aerospace to deliver higher than 20% margin over midterm. Share buyback, set up another year strong delivery. Share buyback, first in a decade. Oh, it's just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I love it. Large engine flying hours to grow. What is this? Huh. That's interesting. Expect supply chain issues to persist for further 12 to 18 months. And remember, they cited that in the earnings report that we just read, right? They were able to deliver, as they said, strong, sustainable results while dealing with supply chain challenges, as they put it. So it doesn't seem like any of these obstacles could potentially throw a wrench into this machine and slow it down, in my opinion. Just beautiful. Up by 3.5 points. Just absolutely phenomenal. And again, I knew this was going to happen. For the record, I do not have a position in Rolls Royce. And it breaks my heart. But for those of you who did get involved, did see the value that we spoke about over the last few years, well, obviously, congratulations. You made a phenomenal call. Just amazing, just amazing. Not only was the turnaround going according to plan, but now again, as they say, the fact that we have to raise midterm guidance now, it's better than what we originally forecasted. Oh, by the way, the whole restructuring process where, you know, a year and a half, 2 years ahead of schedule. I mean, you literally couldn't ask for a better update out of Rolls Royce. Share buyback. Absolutely phenomenal. So, of course, congratulations to all you shareholders here, continuing to hit new highs. And again, in my opinion, I think soon we hit that $10 psychological level. Let's look at stock charts real quick. I'll let you go. We recently spoke about the RSI approaching that benchmark, but again, we had earnings with a report like this. I mean, we have to kind of throw some of the technicals out the window because, again, in my eyes, this is more of a fundamental growth play. This is something that really shouldn't be tracked. I mean, of course, the technicals play a part, but you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. Something like an RSI above the 70 benchmark shouldn't scare away investors, if you will, even in the immediate short term. But RSI technically at 78 here on the close. You can see we had the big gap up. We closed above the top Bollinger Band. We were tightening here, started to step up going into the earnings. Now you can see the trumpeting, of course, on the Bollinger Bands because we had a big gap up. MACD was getting close and, of course, spiked straight up. RSI on the weekly, again, as we look back at the growth throughout 23 and 24, you can see this company over the longer term time frame was well overextended. And a lot of traders may have looked at it like here and said, oh, okay, it's overbought. I'll wait for it to pull back and sell off, right? I'll wait for the RSI to come back to like 60 and then I'll step in, I'll buy that dip. And you can see that the stock just held steady, slowly increasing, basically holding that value, and then took that next leg higher, right? Slight pullback, slowly starts to rebound, and then just continues to climb. Slight pullback to the band, continues up. Slight pullback, continues up, right? So that's why I'm saying I appreciate the fact that technicals are relevant. But in this specific situation, I really don't think it's what you need to look at. RSI up here, back up at 78 plus on the weekly. But again, I mean, it was well above that benchmark for, what's this, like 6 months straight. So again, you really can't use that in my eyes. Look at how tight those Bollinger Bands were here on the weekly. And then we bounced off the mid-Bollinger Band, started to break up and out towards the top end of the range, and now, boom, we have our big, thick candle coming out today. So we're going to trump it out here and then start to curl up. And pretty soon, the bottom Bollinger Band, in my opinion, will be where the mid-Bollinger Band is. The mid-Bollinger Band will be up here in the 8s, and the high Bollinger Band will be up there, probably around 9. And again, we spoke about the slow movement and rise of these moving averages as well. The 50-day moving average from the time we originally looked at the stock was down here at about, what's that, 110, 115 a share? Now it's up to 6.5. So again, as we say, slow and steady wins the race. And in my opinion, those slow climbing moving averages are now your new support levels. Let's check the pivot points real quick. I'll let you go. And we can see we closed technically above first level resistance of 874 here at 917. Next level resistance on the weekly, 1021. So again, that 10 plus psychological level is potentially incoming. Stock was down so much, we're well above our resistance pivot points on the daily. Of course, we had a pivot point here at 805. Stock is above 9. So now we're just flying high. And again, even though it is a pop and the stock has rallied a lot, based on what the company just reported, I don't know if we can just immediately pull it back on a gap fill or sell it off because the RSI is overextended. You understand? So we may potentially pull it back and maybe come down to, 895 or something, like right around this point, and then bounce it back up and just go to 10 plus. So you may see a slight sell-off, but in my opinion, I don't think it's going to be that drastic. And again, we're seeing a tech sell-off right now here domestically for the most part, but again, this company makes engines, aerospace defense stock, overseas in Europe, and again, we have the potential headline of beefing up the amount spent on defense. So we still have that wild card up our sleeve as well. So that's why, in my opinion, if there is some short-term volatility here, in my eyes, I would continue to keep my eye on the prize. I would continue to look at it through that long-term lens, and I personally feel that there is still more value here. But phenomenal earnings report for Rolls Royce. Again, stock pops to new highs yet again, and I'm just very, very happy that this one's working out beautifully. And I know a lot of you were around back in the day here talking about the stock, seeing the value, taking a position, rolling the dice with me. And of course, as you see, it's worked out beautifully. So I appreciate the support over the last couple of years for all of you who, check out every Rolls Royce video and always, try to add some input. So I appreciate all you guys. And again, I'm very glad it worked out. But that's pretty much it. I'll end it there. So once again, Stocks by the Numbers, I want to thank you for stopping by. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, drop it down in the comments section. I'm usually pretty quick to reply. Thumbs up algorithm helps me get more eyes on the channel. And of course, subscribe to the channel. That is our handshake agreement. That is how you help me help you. But more importantly, moving forward, like I always say, I understand that markets are rocky, they're volatile, and they're very uncertain. So I want to wish all of you success. I hope everyone makes a couple of dollars. Thank you for your time. Have a good day.